Good day everyone. We are the group 2 and we will going to present our topic which is the organizational environment and culture. Let's start.
What is organization? In an organization, ito yung group of people na nagtutulungan para ma-achieve yung goal nila. We have some examples like business like Jollibee or school, etc. Lahat ng organizations may kanya-kanya silang tao, rules, resources to help it succeed. Next. The organizational environment versus organizational culture. The organizational environment has two types of environment. The first is external and the internal. The internal naman, ito yung nasa labas ng company or mga bagay na hindi nila kayang kontrolin. We have some examples like competitors or other companies. Need nila na pagtuunan ng pansin kasi nakakaapekto yung mga nangyayari na yon sa work ng company. Sa internal naman, ito yung nasa loob ng company na nakokontrol nila kung paano nila to i-execute. Next. Yun nga yun, nandun yung external and internal. The organizational culture, it is a shared values and beliefs and behaviors in a company. Next. How the environment affects the managers. The managers need to be able to understand both internal and external environment to be able to make a good decision. Example na lang is how they listen to the customers' feedback that would help a company improve their services to maintain the trust of their customers. Next. Nika.
Naka-next na siya.
Hello
Akin ba yun?
everyone. I am the next presenter and my name is Precious Divanan. So, let's start with the concept of environmental uncertainty. So this means how hard it is for managers to know what's going to happen outside the company. The first one is the complexity of the environment. This means how many people or groups the company deals with. So ito yung mga companies that work in many countries and to talk to different customers or suppliers. The second one is degree of change in environmental components. How dynamic or stable the external environments. So this means how many people or groups or how fast things change outside the company. It is like how phone companies release new models and every year. Next slide. Now let's talk about how companies manage relationships with people outside the company. Let's start with identify the organization's external stakeholders. So these are the people or groups who care about what the company does. So example na natin dito yung mga suppliers and customers. The second one is the determine the particular interests and concerns of the external stakeholders. So dito, each group has different concerns. And for the number 3, decide how critical each external stakeholder is to the organization. Some groups affect the company more than others. For example, the shareholders are very important because they invest money. And the last one is the determine how to manage is each individual external stakeholder relationships. It is the company who choose to how to talk and work with each groups or stakeholders. This can include meetings, updates, or partnership. Next slide. So this diagram shows all the different people and groups around the company. They include employees, so they do the work, customers, they buy the products, governments, they make the rules, media, they share news about the company, supplier, they gave materials, communities, they care about the environment and safety. Shareholders, they invest money. Unions, they protect workers. Competitors, they sell similar products. Social and political groups, they speak up about issues. Trade associations, they help companies in the same industry. Next slide. So this is the importance and adaptation. Let's start with resource acquisition. The environment provides necessary input such as raw materials, labor, and capital. So companies get what they need like materials, workers, and money from the environment. Second one is the opportunities and threats. The environment presents opportunities for growth and threats that can undermine performance. So the environment can help a company grow or cause problems. For example, if more people want eco-friendly products, that's an opportunity. But if prices go up, that's a threat. And the last one is strategic planning. Scanning the environment help organization sets goals, plan effectively, and adapt strategies to maintain competitiveness. So companies look what's happening around them to make good plans. Next. Organizational culture. So it's the way people in a company think, act, and work together. It includes values, symbols, rituals, myths, and practices. So culture has three parts. The first one is culture is perception. It refers to the people who see and feel it in their daily work. The second one is culture is shared. This means everyone in the culture knows it. So the last one is culture is descriptive. It shows how people behave and treat each other. Next. So strong basis weak organizational culture. Strong culture. Everyone knows follows the company's values. Unlike weak culture, only a few people know the value, usually the bosses. Strong culture, the company sends clear message about what matters. Unlike weak culture, mixed messages confuse employees. Strong culture, employees know stories about the company's past. Unlike weak culture, workers don't know about the company's history. Strong culture, workers feel proud and connected. Unlike the weak culture, people don't feel connected. Strong culture actions match the company's values. Unlike the weak culture, values and actions don't match. That's it. Thank you. Next presenter, please.
So now, let's talk about the sources of organizational culture. What this means is where organizational culture are found and developed. So, dito po na-develop and nahanap yung mga culture ng mga kumpanya. So, the first source of organizational culture is the organization's founder. The organization's founder are like the CEO or the boss of the company or organization. Since they are the founder or the leader of the company, their actions set the tone and core values from the beginning of the company, which the employees eventually follow and they treat it as cultural. So the second one is the past practices of the organization. Um, these are the traditions, ways of doings, and historical decisions. Yung mga dating gawain ng kumpanya and the way of their decision making, it leaves an impact and it eventually becomes a culture of the company. So the third one is the behavior of the top management. So the top management is like the CEO, like I mentioned before, or like the boss of the company. But here in the top management, usually they consist many people, so they are a group. They are like the higher employees of the company. So they are leaders model and they reinforce the culture through their actions. So the next one is how employees learn culture. So there are four things on how employees learn culture. The first one is the stories. These are the narrative about key events, founders, or heroes that reflects core values. Stories are shared through the generation of company and they become culture since employees are learning about the story of the company. Second one is the rituals. Rituals are the repeated activities that reinforce the organization's values and traditions. So rituals can be an activity of company, whatever activity it may be, they become culture because they are repeated through the generation of the company. And with that, the employees experience this and they learn about the culture of the company. So the third one is material symbols. These are the physical items that shows what the organization values are. For example, office layout, dress code, perks, logo of the company, and etc. So these material symbols aren't just physical things that the employees can touch or see. They they symbolizes the culture of the company and the history of it. They carry the value of the company as well and the story again. So the last one is the language. Language are the special terms, slogans, or jargon unique to the organization. Language is the way of how the company speaks to their employees, and with that, they may have a specific way of talking with their employees, and eventually, this become a culture which the employees learn and adapt. So for the next one is let's talk about how culture affects the managers. Since culture affects the company itself and culture can be learned by the employees, also, of course, it can also affect the managers. So let's talk about the cultural constraints on manager. Culture defines which managerial actions are seen as proper or improper. Through the culture, the actions of managers can be seen as right or wrong. So the second one is it shows which organizational activities are valued and encouraged. The third one is depends on the overall strength of or weakness of the culture. So managers' actions can depend on the strength or weakness of the culture. So if it is strong, it may have a good impact or good help to the decision making of the managers. So for the lower part here, it says simple rule for getting ahead in an organization. Find out what the organization wants and do those things. So what this means is that you should or the employees should observe and understand criteria for success, promotion, and recognition. So now for the last part, let's talk about again the managerial decisions affected by culture. So these are the specific actions or decisions by the managers of the company that culture may affect. So the first one is planning, the second is organizing, the third one is leading, and the last one is controlling. So these four are again the specific decisions that the managers do in a company that culture affects. So it says here in the planning the degree of risk that plan should contain and whether plan should be developed by individual or teams. And for the organization, it is how much autonomy should be designed into employees' jobs and whether tasks should be done by individual or teams. For the leading, it is what leadership styles are appropriate and whether all disagreements, even constructive ones, should be eliminated. And for the last one, what criteria should be emphasized in performance evaluations and what repercussions will occur from exceeding one's budget. So this has been the group 2. That is all. Thank you so much.